you, Benito. Like, I was really ignorant in the beginning. Project, I wanted to project what I was doing onto him. And that was really wrong. I weigh millionaire success stories, and that was really wrong because, and I mean, one thing, and listen to this, right?
Yeah.
My story with Nkobile is actually really iron versus, or iron sharpens iron type of deal because
Yeah.
he even says it himself in the podcast that he used to get, and keep in mind the pressure that I would give him and he would give me is not direct. It comes by proxy.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go directly after him and he wouldn't go directly after me. It's
Yeah.
always these, and then the jabs, I would call it, but we know we're talking about each other, right?
Yeah.
So he tells me flat out, bruh, you know that when you started, I was so pressured and intimidated by your channel. And you know, it makes a person feel good, man.
Someone says audio's weak.
Audio weak, bro.
Yeah.
And now, is that better? I just don't want like the background noise. Is the volume better now?
Audio weak.
Move this a little bit closer, because I believe that is where. Is the audio better? Thank you, Mr. Warren. But the audio was fine. You see, sometimes I don't like that. There's some people that will tell me, nah, it's fine now, and then other. Brastito. Okay, guys, so I moved the camera closer so that you can actually see me and Khanyi. Let me just. Okay, we are in it. Yeah, we are still in it. So, as you guys know, we have Khanyi here. We were supposed to link up long time ago, but sometimes, you know, life happens. Things fall in place that shouldn't fall in place, but
you know how Cape Town is sometimes though. Like you get lost in the vibe of things. So
Cape Town.
That was me getting lost in the vibe of things. Yeah.
Cape Town is Little Miami. I don't know if people have realized that, but Cape Town is Little Miami. So yeah, as I was saying, concerning Kobilin and that like that podcast always wanted me to like, or it required me to do better, man, and to put out, because for me it felt like as I'm exposing this guy, they didn't go for an interview there and they get their name clean by Nkobile, right? And I explained it to him like that.
That's what I actually told him. I think last year at EFMAS, I was like, I'm having a little weird relationship with your podcast now because you're putting on people that don't deserve to be on that platform.
Now, let's go do this. So I was also of that thinking now. And then I realized that my presence at EFMAS 24 scared people off so bad, and it made me realize that whenever people come to my platform, it's either number one, they don't want to come, number two, they want to control the questions, or number three, they're going to come and be uncomfortable the whole time because of who I am and what I do and how I've exposed them before. So for me, it came to a point where I realized that Nkobile's podcast serves the purpose of a safe space for some of these guys to come and fuck up freely, man. I don't know if you noticed that. Because Nkobile isn't in the industry like that, they feel like they can talk over him at times, and they don't know he's actually really knowledgeable as well. And one thing that I've learned about him, right, and this is also what I'm going to do with like my own podcast, is not deliberately, not like you play dumb, but you give them enough rope to hang themselves
themselves. He actually did bring that up when we were at EFMAS, and he's like, yeah, no, me, I just sit back, I watch and listen. But at the end of it, when the cameras are off and then people start talking, he realizes like, nah, you basically ain't shit.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm glad me and him got to link. When we linked up, you know, I was able to like tell him, you know, this is how I actually been feeling. And one thing that I told him was when I got my first brand deal, I didn't know How to...
H&M, by the way. H&M. Someone's like, this is a good... It's H&M.
Landelane. What did I want to say? Where was I talking now? If it was it... Yo, I forgot now what I wanted to say.
It's about how at the end of it all, he kind of like spots that they ain't shit.
Yeah. I wanted to add something onto that, but I forgot now, man. But just having been there and seeing his operation, you know, it just makes me want to like up my operation. But what was your first impression of EFMAS? I know this isn't like your first EFMAS, but this is your first EFMAS in Cape Town. What do you think of the turn up?
No, so my first impressions, this one was much better than Joburg. Much more better than Joburg. I think it elevated like a lot. To be honest. It elevated a lot of things actually. So I like this EFMAS in Cape Town. I hope they continue hosting it in Cape Town. I think it's the best place to have it at. Yeah. And I'd like to think that the people who make an effort to show up at EFMAS, well, obviously there were some of the influencers who came there shopping for brand deals, sadly enough. But I don't know, like there was a different type of elevation at EFMAS where if you can't see that there's bigger doors that are able to be opened for people such as who wanting to get into the trading space, then I don't know. But then for me, I went there wanting to see new opportunities, and I saw a lot more than what there was in last year's EFMAS in Joburg. Yeah, so that's the one thing I appreciated a lot about this year's EFMAS. I felt like the brokers who were there came with bigger guns this year.
Oh, I'm so glad you're speaking on that, my bro, Khanyi, because like I feel like the brokers came and they showed out, my bro.
No, they did. 100%.
They showed out.
100%. It was like a slight little rivalry as well that wasn't spoken of, but you could feel that there was like...
You could feel
it.
it.
You could actually feel who were pumping in more money into being like the top sponsors and all of that compared to the ones who didn't actually put in much. You can see like from...
But let me say this though. On that sponsor end now, when I was at EFMAS 24, I realized how expensive it is to have a booth there and to be an exhibitor there, right? That is why I didn't find it so strange this year for brokers like, okay, Alpha Mark is not out of the picture, but like your RCG, your Doto, your space markets, you know, all of the, and look, it's not that I want to throw the local players under the bus, my bro, but this is where IFX like truly shines out completely, because for me, and it's mainly also because of their budget and how well they're doing, right? But for me, it's like they don't compete with your RCG, your Doto. Their competitors like XNES, HFM, XM. And when I look at that, right, that is why I went live the other night and I was like, you can't put IFX in the same local bracket as the local brokers, because no other local broker is showing out as much as they're showing out. Look, when I went to...
IFX had a... IFX booth was packed.
It was... Dude!
It was...
Let me just say now, I'm so impressed with their booth. I'm so impressed to be like with them.
Even just the interaction, the sounds. Every time when we heard like a massive sound, we turn around and be like, oh, it's
IFX booth.
IFX booth, you know?
And the thing is, you heard those commotions because, like I said, they were giving away account funding between 100 and 10K. Now, to me, that's amazing, my bro. Why do I say it's amazing? Look, HFM was also giving away, they were also giving away money, and I think it was also account funding, and I also want to give them...
It was way more than 30 bands to be there. Way more than 30 bands.
It cost 30 bands. No, AB Roadway, let me tell it to you like this. Jason Noah will be able to say this to you, and it's NAS 106 as well, because at EFMAS 24, both of them was there. When they saw me, both of them ran to me to take my hand. And the very first thing that I asked both of them was, Jason, where's Alpha Market's booth? Jason was like, nice, shake my hand. And I told him, Jason, where is Alpha Market's booth? And he flat out told me, give me 600K and I can have a booth there. And I was like, what did you just say? What did you just say? But guys, when I look at, okay, IFX is like the third sponsor, right? The one that sponsored third most, right? TD Markets sponsors, I think, it's between TD Markets and XM, which sponsors the most, right? Because when you look at it like this, all major branding, I don't know if you've noticed, all major branding that has to do with EFMAS has XM on. When you look at the lanyards, XM. When you look at the adverts, it's XM there. So XM has like the top spot for, and then second is TD Markets. And when I look at just the after party alone that TD Markets is sponsoring.
Did you go to the after party?
No, I didn't. Look, going to EFMAS is reckless enough.
Yeah.
Going to the after party would just be me being stupid, So, just seeing that this is like the second year in a row that they are sponsoring yet again another after party, and you must keep in mind, the drinks were free, the food was free.
Food was free. Everything was free.
Can you imagine that budget?
And can you imagine the traders who probably went there to flex as if they spent the money there?
Flexing by proxy.
Any content you see from the EFMAS after party done by TD Markets, and you seeing all your social media trading influencers flexing alcohol in this, it was free. Keep that in the back of your minds. It was free. Nobody spent a single cent.
I'm sorry for laughing so cuck.
we have to put it in the back of their minds, because they're probably going to look and see that their favorite influencers and think, oh, this influencer's got money. When TD Markets sponsored the whole thing. You could drink until you dropped there and not one card would have been swiped. Everything was done by TD Markets.
And this is why, right, when it comes to my brand deal with IFX, when it comes to booking flights, I'm honest. I tell them IFX booked it. When I got to look, I'll be real, my bro. Over the weekend I was there by DJ Coach, Man, the rooms that IFX would book me compared to the room that I walked into with DJ Coach, and I was like, now I'm appreciated. I'm appreciated. Look, for me now, it's like the small things that really matter, man, because look at it like this. This is now the second year that I am on as a VIP, without sponsor, right? So I get like special privileges, man. I don't know if you noticed, there was a VIP little garden with white picket fences.
Yeah.
And I made it a point to put that in the vlog, because I want people to see that these guys that's constantly flexing their millions, they don't even have a VIP ticket to just go and fix a little water. Or they have to go and buy.
They have to buy.
Now, I don't pay for that privilege. IFX does, me, bro. But the fact that they think of me that far, that is why I ride or die for them, bro. But enough about them. Have you met your subscribers, your followers there?
I have. Remember when I said I tried to film EFMAS? I couldn't. It even got to a point where I was chilling at a hotel reception area, literally just outside, I think at the Duke Hotel, literally a walk away from the Cape Town Convention Center. Yeah, I was chilling there, and then people were walking past, and I had to literally respect the establishment and go outside and be like, hey guys, how are you? But even now with the videos, the clips that I was checking out on my camera for EFMAS, every 2 seconds someone's stopping me and they're like, hey. But you know what's even more crazier? I went to go watch my mentor because he was talking on the panel on the main stage.
Who's your mentor?
Can't mention him. Can't mention him. He doesn't want to be known like that. And you know what's funny? Everyone knows him, but because... Huh?
Okay. Got you.
So basically, so he was on stage talking, and there was another lady there on the panel who, she was there. She was on the panel. She had like 11 years experience in just the industry, higher ups, worked at F&B, Forex department, and then has moved on to other, establishments as well. And yeah, I was walking past doing my thing at EFMAS, and she pulled me aside. And she goes, ADHD trader. And when I saw who it was, I was like,
man.
You know me? And she's like, I saw you were sitting whilst I was talking. When I was doing my segment of being the panelist. And I was like, yeah, I was there. And she's like, I love your content. We watch your content. We speak about you all the time. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, wow, the higher ups like that know me. And you know what's even crazier? The higher ups do know a lot of these social media traders. And this is what I was saying. Like, if we are truly who we say we are, we're being watched by top people in the industry. But the problem is that obviously a lot of these traders come with terrible digital footprints. So they cannot they can't further their careers other than just maintaining being a whole, I think the ceiling in the forex trading industry is what? Lying to the public and saying that the brokers is theirs, but they're just the face.
But
that's the most. That's the highest that they can go. But this is why I came to EFMAS, was to check for to just see what doors could potentially open for me. Because I don't want to be in the social media space of things. I really don't. And to see someone who already knows me like that, and just basically putting me in front of all of these people, and they were offering me this and they're offering me that, and I was just like, this is what you need if you want to like further your brand in the industry. This is what you come for. This is what you do. I came prepared. I even came with like business cards, everything, whilst every other social media influencer was chopping brokers to try and find what the next brand deal is for them.
I'm so glad that you say that, because I think one thing that you have noticed, like regardless of the turn up, I think even at EFMAS 24 you also noticed that EFMAS is a very powerful event to go and establish yourself. And this is what I find a lot of people in this industry don't want to do, or they don't do it at all. When you talk about like the big names, right? One of the big names that approached me as I was leaving like that little VIP booth was Jimmy Moyaha. Now, like I told you, he's a very trusted voice in this industry. He speaks really well. The topics that he covers is solid. And for me, when I walked away from there, I was like, wow, man. Like, you are really famous. Like, without social media now, like, I'm just social media known. I'm not even so well known. I'm just social media. But to have you come up to me and be like, there's a lot of powerful people watching your stuff, and they don't like it. I'm just like, So if you are watching my stuff, who else is? And look, now for me, sometimes when I look at who follows me, who has reached out to me before,
I know, right?
I lost my head the other day, and I told my lady, do you know when I was like a teenager going into like my early 20s, there was not a club that you could go to where Lulo Cafe wasn't playing. Lulo Cafe's music was in every single club. He follows me on Instagram. The Scoop Makatini.
It follows you.
Sent me an inbox. Listen,
Really?
I want to do business. Text me. My mistake was I responded and I said, I'm gonna text you now. Now he's still coming. I feel way too embarrassed to go and text the guy like now, but
you should.
like when I look at the opportunities that just opens when you do things right, man.
There's so many opportunities when you do things correctly. So many opportunities. And like I said to you earlier, I don't want to be in the social media space for long. I'm just grateful that the doors were open to me, and the moment that I was able to see that, okay, these are the type of opportunities that come with it. Man, did I set myself straight. Like I was just like, okay, I get it now. But it just shocks me because you have so many bigger people, such as your Jason Noahs, your FX Goats, who can go legit if they wanted to.
If they wanted to,
they can, because the opportunities are there. But my thing is this, is that what genuinely stops them from going legit? Like, what stops them from going correct?
I think it's the scrutiny. I think it's the scrutiny. I think it's the fact that they would now have to open their books completely. And when I look at based on, cause you must know I've dealt with FCA cases like for the life of me. But there was one case in particular where I got a real lowdown on how the FCA really works, and it was with this MTI case, right? They are literally such a generous authoritative body, I would say, because they genuinely give you an opportunity to do the right thing. So they take what you give them, and then they tell you after they've get, okay, give me your whole books, give me everything. Now they're gonna see if what you have given them, if you were trying to mislead them, or if it was the real thing. That is what I realized when I saw that MTI thing, and I realized that the reason why the FCA cases take so long is because these guys are actually fucking meticulous.
They are.
They go through every single thing, and they do everything by the book. So just having experienced that.
I think before you actually get to the FCA, you have to go to the financial ombudsman first.
Facts. That is, and I think people aren't that educated. On that side of things. I mean, I remember when I came into the industry and I was asking folks, oh, but like, what does his account history look like? And they would look at me like, account history? I'm like, dude, don't you know that you as a client have the right to ask for an account history, because that proves the track record? And very often, some of them were shocked, perplexed even, and cool. I would like to say that the work that I've done concerning exposing and so has taken effect. But when I look at the changes that's been made at EFMAS, I'm proud, my bro. Let me tell you what I mean. Last year at EFMAS, one of the main attractions was Ref Wayne.
Really?
Yeah, he spoke there, Mos.
I think I don't remember that.
You don't remember that because same like DJ Coach last year, they came in, there was a quick ruckus, and then they left again.
Yeah.
Now, this year, they had someone that I believe, through his efforts, is going to be part of a select few people that's going to restore the integrity in this industry. He's always on Kopile's podcast, MJ Givens.
Yes, I know him, yeah.
I was so proud when I saw that he was one of the speakers, right? But then when I saw he was one of the speakers, like, it clicks to me, this is the perfect guy, because I think I've seen him 3 or 4 weeks now being invited by SABC News to be a part of their finance segment. And for me, that's a big thing.
That's a big deal.
Because, let me tell you why it's a big deal. Louis Junior Chakwane has gone to SABC.
Yep.
Sandile Shays has gone to SABC. Ref Wayne has gone to SABC. But neither of them
have been invited to be the finance. Yeah.
Exactly. Neither of them went to go and have a conversation where they can show they are actually knowledgeable about this. And when you take a look at the fact that this bra is allowing himself to be challenged live.
Yeah.
Like like how many millions of viewers aren't watching that moment? And I mean, for me, sometimes I would be live and I would say 150 people, and I would be like, oh shit. Yeah, this man has millions of people watching him. And for me, seeing EFMAS also make that change, because they have gone from hype to something solid. Is just and to be honest, I was actually waiting for Ref Wayne there.
That's what I actually liked about this year, was that last year, just even though we did see like remember when I told you certain influencers walked in and I was like, the bottom of the barrel has arrived, right? But the hype wasn't there compared to last year. It's as if people were like, oh okay, you know, literally it was like, oh okay, like
I don't know if you've noticed. And it might be a little chip on my shoulder, it might be me imagining things. But I feel like we took a lot of shine away from these guys at this year's event, eh?
We did.
And I think they also don't grant it that much. Because when I came in, up until I left, it was just like, can I take a photo? Can I take a photo? Can I take a photo? And I could see some of these guys actually like getting like irritated. One came
Someone says, are you guys siblings?
Yana, check my cabin. Come now, man. So as I was saying, I could literally feel the tension, and for me, bro, I most don't worry, man. I walk everywhere there. You can be at your pool. I don't care. I will come and walk past you. Like with Clint Facedom, that man was so shocked when he saw me.
I didn't even see him show up.
And I was just like, yeah, bitch. I'm here. I'm here, bitch. But you see, the thing is, right, ever since Jason put out that 10K thing, people thought that I wasn't going to see it. And what I want people to realize is that, right, that might have been reckless of me. Completely reckless, to just come. And when you look at how I came now, I came with two friends that aren't even affiliated like that.
Yeah, I did.
I told them flat out, listen, you guys aren't tight with me like that. So I don't expect you to fight with me like that.
Yeah.
So if it comes, let's rather focus on diffusion. And once we see the situation has been diffused properly, I walk away, get my ass out of there before the next trigger happens. And as you've seen, no trigger, there was none. Do you know what's actually funny? What was so funny to me, Khanyi, is some people popped up and they were like, yo, I was thinking about coming to clap you, but then I saw how big you were, and now I don't want to do it anymore. And I was just like, yo. But what is your thought on that?
On what exactly?
On that 10K thing that Jason put on his Instagram status, where he said, anyone that smacks me and can produce a video that they smacked me, he will pay 10K.
It just oh my gosh, it just goes to show how cheapened the industry really is.
So true.
So cheap. Like, we forget what type of industry we genuinely are in. We're in the finance space. We're in finance, and you know, finance comes with this sort of like, you know, respectful type of title. Comes with the sense of like authority. You're smart. You know how to, I guess, invest your money, grow your money. Anything finance is something that should be taken seriously. And when you think about finance, you think about things like Wall Street, obviously. You think about men in suits. You think about all sorts of things. And then you've got someone here that's apparently, well, we all know he's just the face, but owns a broker and all of that. And he's coming on and he's stirring up social media, you know, moments when that shouldn't be the main factor of what type of industry you're in. For me personally, none of just Jason Noah stuff has ever been about trading. It's literally this amount of trading and the rest is just social media moments. And I quickly want to come back to the whole Bandile situation and the Dota situation, and when he came out that one day and he just spewed all of this stuff. or for it to end up being a non-existent boxing match? Like, where did that end up?
Look, let me say it like
where
this.
did that end up?
The
And
pattern,
this is the finance industry we're talking about. Here we are, we're speaking about boxing matches, you know, my number plate for your number plate, and bag for bag, and even that, none of it ever happened.
None of it. Look, by the fact that that doesn't happen, that should show us the inconsistency of some of these gentlemen. I would look at shortly after last year's EFMAS, Jason messaged me and Jason was like, you know what, I actually really feel like kicking your ass, man. And my first response to him was like, no, good luck, my bro. And he was like, no, really, let's organize a boxing match.
Oh my god.
And up until today, no boxing match. And look, I don't want to like invite that type of energy now, but it's always like, why if there's like the same thing with when him and Andele Maisela was beefing. I don't know if you caught that beef.
No,
because it was also like, who has the biggest swinging dick? And I was sitting back and realizing to myself, but like, shouldn't you guys be going account history for account history, trade for trade, account statement for account statement?
We should be partaking in solid like trading competitions such as, you know, but we're nowhere near any of that. Nowhere near any of that.
I wanted, do you know, this is something that I really thought of. And I want us, especially like our local mentors, to think about this. Seeing that they are so hype for clout, one thing that I would like for them to do is go and get the Robin's account. Put you the best, put your trading to the test there. You will be going against the best there.
It's never ever about trading. It's about who has the most money, who has the better cars, who's this. It's never ever about the trading.
I think Khanyi, that is the reason why I attack what they have. Because like I told one of my friends, right, if you know where someone's money is coming from, they can't fool you by saying it's something else when it's not.
Yeah.
If you know how someone's car has been bought, they can't come to you and pretend like they have this money to buy this thing cash. And I think that is where the hate also for me started, because if you look at it like this, Khanyi, for years, it's gonna be so even long after I die. People aren't falling for account summaries, they aren't falling for account histories, they aren't falling for trade histories, they aren't falling for withdrawal histories, none of that. They are falling for cars, mansions, and pictures of money.
Yeah.
That is so sad to me. Like, you don't even know if this person can trade. How they are gonna, let's say it's an account manager, what strategy they're gonna use to like double your money, but you throw your money. Now recently, right, and I'm so happy for that. My content is like taken a little bit of an elevation in the sense of if a victim is from Cape Town, I don't just take your evidence anymore. I give you the opportunity to appear on camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now that obviously it's harder because now you can put a person to the evidence. Now you can link a face with a grief. So it's not just grief that is out there and you don't know. It like personalizes things, man. So this past week I went to link up with a group of 22 people. 22 people, yeah, Monday. Linked up with them. They got scammed and we're talking about like millions here now. So I put them in touch with my lawyer, right? Because I'm also most consulting. Right? So I put them in touch with my lawyer, right? And the price basically like, and I also want to come back, circle around on them, to talk about them also right quick. But some of these people that has fallen for this scheme has been part of a previous scheme that took it down by storm that also fell flat.
What was the scheme?
Not too long ago, there was this investment scheme by FBK from Cape Town, Forex Breakout Kings from Cape Town. You might have heard about them or not. You see the guy in my vlog, the guy that meets me at FMAS's doors and he says, "You lucky I don't have my guns here. Otherwise you him."
Okay.
So yeah, they had an investment thing going on. FCA declared it as a scheme. It got shut down. Not shut down. It's currently still under court proceedings.
Yeah.
But they went from that way. They should have learned a lesson to the next. And I mean, if you're gonna wait for this FBK matter to be resolved, then that is also an option. I mean, you wait up until the law lets you know, okay, now they operated within bounds or they operated without. Now you must know what to do, right? So they move from that to the next scheme. And for me, it's just like, when is the community gonna start taking accountability for their actions, man?
Yeah.
Because how are you part of a scheme where millions can't be accessed to get caught up in another scheme where your millions can't be accessed? And I think at some point, you know, I've been turning around on this video for so long. I get close to recording it and then I switch the camera off. But at some point, the consumer also needs to be held accountable for their decisions.
The consumer, I don't know if you saw the video I made on TikTok, was like, I support scamming because it's at a stage now where, I mean, you're willingly going into it and you're not asking enough questions. And listen, I understand that there's a huge desperation right now of people wanting financial breakthroughs, but even a financial breakthrough doesn't fall from the sky, unfortunately.
Facts.
Like, it doesn't fall from the sky. And remember when I told you earlier that my mom dragged me to this other business presentation and it was just a whole entire pyramid scheme. And I was so upset, man, because I'm just like, you know what, the reason why I do want to get into this and I want to go and get, like, you know, FCA regulated and all of that stuff, there's genuinely a serious problem where people of color don't know how to invest the money, where to invest it, how it grows. There's a lack of transparency and lack of education. And I even met someone, a very popular presenter in SA. She also does Metro FM. She's a radio presenter there as well too. She showed up to this this pyramid scheme thing, and she actually pulled me aside and in the bathroom, and she's like, "You look like a person that knows things." And I'm like, "Just a little bit." And she's like, "Are you gonna put your money into it?" I'm like, "No, it's a complete scam." And I was so upset because I was just like, there's not many people of color know the opportunities that exist there, and the only things we ever do know is pyramid schemes. That's it. That's the only investment structure that we know of, and it's pyramid schemes. And this one was a big pyramid scheme. And I was thinking to myself, man, I was just like, why must it be our people? Like, why must it be us? And I was like, if this was genuinely a solid business investment, do you think they'd be coming to us first? Like, let's put our thinking caps on just for a second and think. And I'm like, would they really be trying to mass populate? And they use the same type of script all the time. Like, y'all know the white man doesn't want to see us get rich.
I hate that.
And this and this and this and that. So this is an opportunity for us. And I'm telling you right now, I'm like, these opportunities never do go to the white man. They never go to the white man. But here we are, we're stuck with the pyramid schemes of investment structures. And literally, I told my mom, I was like, listen, we're not going to be investing in this. And I told that presenter as well too. I was like, don't put your money into this. It wasn't even a week later, and the whole thing had collapsed. Whole thing had collapsed.
It's intense when you look at how big these schemes get just for it to collapse.
Right?
I was looking at this one coin saga. I don't know if you've been paying attention to that with Dr. Ruja Ignatova and shit. I'm telling you.
That's the one who disappeared with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm disappearing, if I have that much money, I'm gonna disappear now. I'm going to make a turn in Turkey first, my bro. You're gonna rearrange my face, my bro. That's the first thing. You're gonna rearrange my
It's
face.
same with those Durban boys as well too. The ones who stole like about 32 yeah. Haven't been found since.
I'm actually busy with a documentary. I'm actually busy with it. I think all of these crypto scams got away because not many people knew how to look out for it. Everyone was just like, okay, crypto is the next big thing. I have to get in. If I don't get in now, it's chai. And then they do get in and then they flip and lose everything. I don't want to say it like that because it makes me feel or makes me seem heartless now. But I can't feel for people like that, me bro. And you know those guys that you have exposed someone for don't know how many times. And this.
It's you know what people thrive on, what social media. I remember I went to this event, and remember FX Goats had a whole crew running around and stuff like that. So one of the guys, I can't remember who it was, he came up to me and he's like, I know you. You're that person who likes to expose and stuff like that. So I was like, guys, me doing the exposing thing wasn't to expose, but to educate, like show the blueprint of how normally when people say this, because they all use the same script.
It's a different.
They use the same script.
All of them.
All of them use the same script. And I literally was like to him, no, listen, that's not my main,
income source.
It's not my name. It's not my main reason why I do my page, But it's just, unfortunately, in order to educate people on how not to get exposed, not to get, scammed and all that stuff, I'm gonna have to make examples. And people come to me and they tell me that, hey, this is what's happened to me, and I have to like put it out there. And he's like, yeah, no, you must do your research first. And then I was thinking to myself, I was just like, are you aware that you have a bigger platform than any of these people? And people like you, me, when we do our content, we're trying to give a platform for the voiceless, people who don't actually have. Yeah, and I'm like, how dare you come to me and be like, do your research first? What do I need to do my research on?
Generally when they tell me do your research on something, I quickly hit them back with, okay, now with that you must say I got something wrong. Tell me what I got wrong. Whoop, silence.
And most of the time they can never ever do that. They can never ever do that. Someone else, I can't remember who it was, but he was a big guy on TikTok, big guy from Durban, and he was doing account management pools. I can't remember who his name was.
Not landlord, no.
No, not landlord. But he was doing account management pools for fundamental events. And then somebody came up to me and was just like, hey, and he was a big guy, I don't know, he probably blocked me, that's why I don't even remember him anymore. But I made a video about him where I'm like, hey guys, there's a guy running around every fundamental event doing, he does CPI, NFP, PPI events, and...
Joesh Naidu?
No, not Joesh.
So you met EFMAS is,
I saw him as well too.
One thing that I want to say now is that these big traders aren't who they think they are.
No, they're not.
So, that of someone is doing something, you can see it's directed towards you, so you do the same, and one of you must crack first. Now that is what happened with me and Joesh at EFMAS. Now obviously, as you've seen, I've made YouTube videos that garnered crazy views about him. My TikTok videos that I made at the time about him went crazy viral. So he knows about me, right? The first day I come there, he's walking past me. He had that full-on black outfit.
With the skinny jeans and then the shoes.
Lord have mercy. So
someone was like to me, sorry to interrupt, they actually asked me, someone very in the industry was like, can you please stop talking about Joesh Naidu? And I'm like, why? What's going on? And he's like, listen, he knows what he's doing. He's not proud of it.
And look, you can actually say, when he came to speak to me now, I could actually, I don't want to say I could feel the inferiority or whatever the case may be, but I could feel like this is a pit bull coming to me with his tail tucked between his legs.
More like a chihuahua, bro.
No facts though.
Yeah.
So they wonder, it's like he sees me but he acts like he doesn't see me. There's a part in his own video where you can see he's coming on and I like just to
like,
pause them. And then day 2 he comes to me. So day 2 he's like, I'm tired of ignoring this, but now let me just go to him. He comes, shake my hand. He's like, you know what, ne? Despite everything what we have said and every video that's been made, he still wants to sit down with me and have a coffee with me. And I was like, bruh, that is something you don't want to do. That is because, to me now, I always feel like I have a bigger duty if I'm speaking to you face to face than when I'm speaking to you through the camera.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I look at, like with Scorsese, Isaac, there's many people, like even what's her name, Andele's second wife.
Is he really a polygamist? Like,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But why do you want to go be a Wait, Rydell, keep your back, Rydell. Fuck man, let me just say it. How are you being a polygamist and you're already struggling to upkeep your own lifestyle? What I'm saying by that is...
asked him, I quickly typed in a comment and I was like, how are you doing this? Like, generally speaking, how are you doing this? Because it's already difficult to be taking care of, of our own partners already, just in general. So to have 2.
And when you look at that video that I uploaded about him, the one where, is it now FNB, that's sending an email for him defaulting on his loan?
Oh, yes.
Or is it defaulting on the payment of his house or something?
Or something like that.
But look, not to talk down on Andele, he's a great guy and all of that.
Yeah.
But it's just that the choices that he's been making has been getting the better of him. So one thing that I can honestly say is that brother makes a shit ton of money through promoting prop firms.
Oh yeah, no, I heard.
And like when you look at the fact that, and I mean I can open inboxes to you now where, and this is how I always would get sometimes the information. There's nothing like a scorned employee that knows me. There's nothing like a scorned employee that knows me. So this guy actually like told, look, I'm not, Khanyi, this to me is like, some people are just so on point and they know shit that when he did this, I really was like, what? So we go through this whole vibe of Andile and him promoting prop firms. I make the video of him and a previous prop firm. That prop firm messages me, and I mean, if I'm lying, why didn't you sue me, man? Defamation of character immediately. That prop firm messages me, oh no, that guy didn't work by us. He just worked on a campaign, and I'm like, he's sending me emails, proper correspondence between you guys, and this isn't information that you would just give out to a nobody. But anyway, so now recently, Andile released a video for that prop firm. But before he released a video for that prop firm, this guy, his name is Wonga Fasi, I believe. He comes to me and he's like, just watch now. Andile has blown his previous account and is looking for more funding. And in order for him to act like he's getting this payout now, he has to make a new video. I'm not talking cocktail. Say 2-3 days after Wonga Fasi sends me that message, Andele's video go on. Same prop firm, the account has been reset and he's getting a payout. And I was just like, damn, this is I don't know if you've received a prop firm
I get
request before.
No, I get them all the time.
But
I get them all the time.
The last one that I've dealt with was like, there I could see that these guys that promote prop firms, they get paid.
They get paid a lot.
The prop firm, and look, Andile also said it himself on the Top Trader.
He did.
On the Top
and
Trader
he wasn't
podcast.
lying because I've received like But the thing is that my integrity is more important, you know?
Very.
And people think that when I do come onto my platform and I start promoting something, oh, you're a sellout. And I'm like, do you know how much money I've turned down?
People
I've
don't wanna
literally,
realize that.
people are not aware. And this is why I say, like, forex trading in this country is just it's a marketing scheme. It genuinely is. It really is like
some
that.
of these guys, now I've said it before, I will say it again. Some of these guys took the wrong industry to be a part of. They should not be a part of the forex industry. They should be part of marketing.
They should be
because
marketing.
when you look at how clean
you know
they
who
lure
would,
some
who
people.
would thrive in that industry? Jason Noah would have a powerhouse of an advertising industry.
But here's the thing with Jason, right? He is so
and Joash Naidu.
He is so far deep that making a drastic change like that is just gonna bring unnecessary attention to him.
That's true. Yeah. But the
so
thing
was
is that
himself.
if you remember when he did that whole stunt with Bandile and that Dodo Markets, that thing spilt over onto the Twitter side of things. It spilt over onto Twitter.
And it very rarely happens.
It rarely ever happens. And everybody was just speaking about it. And Jason, even Joash Naidu, also the other guy who knows how to talk, Darren Dix. When I saw them and Rocket X, when it was Joash Naidu and Darren Dix, I was like, yo. Now that, I'm surprised it kind of like fizzled out that quickly, but when I saw them together, I was like, okay, now we're in trouble. Because
I don't know if you've noticed, in that time, Zaire Witboy that I told you about, he was also part of the clique at that time.
Really?
He was. When I saw him there, I was like, nah.
You know that time when you posted the video of them doing a whole NFP thing and everyone blew their accounts? Did you hear the way that Darren Dix was announcing Joash Naidu? And I was just like, if I had someone in my ear hyping me up like that, the things that I would achieve, achieve.
It's so insane because every time their greed gets the better of them and then their choice making goes outside the door. I'm gonna take Joash Naidu now as an example, right? I feel like Rocket X was his safest move.
It was his safest move.
Because not only was he one of the top IBs, right? But they trusted him to a point where they put him under the FSP, my bro. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't know that.
That's a big thing. I mean, look, and this is also why I grant IFX so much. Like, yet again, that lady won't let you take shortcuts, bruh. You want to be regulated, you need to be regulated for things. I will give you the number of the people to call. I will even give you the study material, but you're going to sort the shit out yourself. There's no IB of IFX that's under IFX's FSP. Yet, Joash had the privilege to be under Rocket X's IB. And it's like you said earlier, you don't get any more legit than being FSCA regulated, number one. And because you're regulated, that allows you to do so many things in a legit fashion that would bring money to you in a way that it hasn't before.
Yeah.
And it's so sad that they get to that point and then they don't know what to do with it. Because for me, if Joash knew what he was sitting on in that very moment, he wouldn't have, because I see now he's with the Lux Markets.
Oh,
and
is he?
yeah, and Lux Markets has also been like, yeah, they've had their fair share of troubles, I believe. And I mean, the new kid on the block, so I believe there's still some more things that's gonna come their way. But like I said, with Rocket X, he was at least regulated. He could do seminars, he could do account management.
This is exactly what I was saying.
But
there's so many opportunities that you actually do get handed to you in the industry where you can go legit. And I feel as if
they just don't want
each
to.
and every single one of these big guys have seen it. And you know what's crazy? Like you said, with the money thing, they would make so much more money if they were regulated. Do you know how much money you make the moment that you have that FSP number next to your name. Even if you don't want the money, you're like, okay, no, I'm good with the money. That money will burst through like a burst pipe.
Exactly. And you know, no, very often people don't hear me like telling this to some of these guys. Like especially at EFMAS is 24, I did it with the young guys. You know, your precision, Niakalo Millions was there. There was other young guys there as well. Pluto, I saw Pluto there. And the conversation was do things proper so that it doesn't come back to sting you. And when I look at, like for me, this is why I don't want to say I don't want to give advice anymore. But when you look at how nice we've spoken to Precision, and I mean you even stood with me with a photo for him.
Yeah, we took a picture.
There, but like just watching how he rubbed his ass off on the advice that a person would give him.
I actually gave him advice. I told him very before all of this happened, I did say, finish school, number one. Finish school, because he was studying something like hectic.
I wonder if...
He was studying something like absolutely hectic. And then, you know, people started coming to me and they're like, hey, bruh, your friend Precision, he's moving with the wrong crowd. And I was just like, nah, he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got a good head on his shoulders. And then you started putting out stuff, and I was like,
Cape Town, man, bro. Cape Town. I'm still saying, when he came to come and be with that Cape Town clique, that is when things went sideways. But guys, Khanyi have places to go. Let me just say it like that. They are yeah, on holiday, obviously, so they have people to see, people to get to. I sincerely hope that you guys enjoyed this live for as long as it has been. And can you plug your socials so that they can go and follow you?
Alright, so right now it's mostly TikTok. What is my... I always forget, actually. Let me quickly plug you guys, but it's mostly TikTok. I do have a lot of scam accounts as well that exist, so it's King_Khanyi. That's it. But it's ADHD Trader FX. It's the one that has about 44,000 followers at the moment. But you'll see my content. Everything is neatly, packed into highlights and all of that, etc., etc. So yeah, it's King_Khanyi on TikTok, and I'm ADHD Trader FX. Yeah.
YouTube,
it's...
Can't forget YouTube, maybe.
YouTube, yeah. I think it's Trading ADHD, something like that. Yeah. Trading ADHD. But nobody else has my... It's empty right now, by the way. Sorry, it's really empty at the moment. But I am going to be posting more content.
That is what we want, yeah.
Yes. But most of my claim to fame is on TikTok right now. So yes.
Hey, that is true. No, that is true. I actually met you there on TikTok.
With me is asking, can I ask the two of you a question?
Okay, we'll make this time for this one question.
Yeah, we'll make the time for the question. Because I can see she's also says, so how can we make an impact to change the what?
The industry.
I'm sure it's the industry. Obviously, just to answer that question, please be authentic and relatable. A lot of people are searching for authentic and relatable people as well. People also, they don't realize that whatever you're going through in the industry, we're still going through it at times. And I think that's the lack of, authenticness is really affecting the industry right now. So the more authentic you are, I promise you, everything comes together pretty well with how people engage with you and ways of, people seeing the work that you put out and wanting to work with you as well. Yeah, and then someone says, from your experience, what's the biggest behavioral or psychological barrier you see holding traders back today? Money. People are very emotional with their money. They're very, very emotional with their money, and that's because it comes from a place where they're not supposed to be using it, so they're using their last cent, number one, to trade, and number two, they don't realize that even if you were to be working on a solid business that's not trading, you're still going to be losing money to some capacity as well. But because people don't want to ever take responsibility for the mistakes that they make with their money. That's why it's so easy to basically blame a mentor, but you can't even blame yourself for having made that investment decision to place the money into that specific mentor. So you won't blame yourselves for making that decision, but you'll blame the mentor for making you lose money. But the biggest psychological barrier is money. The only time that I've ever been able to be successfully profitable was when I wasn't worried about paying bills.
That is the most important one, and I think that is why we always let you guys know, don't trade with money that's meant for food, meant for school fees. That's your month's petrol. That is your month's rent. Don't do that, because you're just going to stress with that and make unnecessary decisions with that.
That's facts. So when they say, what's the psychological barrier? It's always going to be money. It's always going to be money. The moment that you don't have anything to lose behind that, the money opens like the floodgates when it comes to trading. You're making the right trades. You're doing this. You're doing that. And the moment that money becomes such a psychological barrier, you put yourself in... Are we still recording?
Yeah.
You put yourself in a position where you start to self-sabotage your trades, self-sabotage your trading journey in a way. So, yeah, money is it's the number one psychological barrier.
Yeah, I think that is why also IFX was handing out IFX and HFM, because I think they also saw the need that, and I mean we have reverted back to a microwave generation, my bro. When and let me say why I say microwave generation. You must know how a microwave works. You put in your glass of milk, you put and it's done when it comes out. The same with people. They want to put in 100 rand and they want to take out 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. And we are not saying it's not possible, but we are saying you are more likely to lose before you win. So just be careful of those pitfalls as well. We're not saying trading isn't working. We're just saying that there is pitfalls. You are going to fall into them. But prepare yourself so that when you do fall into them, the impact isn't as hard.
Yes, that's very true.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining. I will upload that DJ Coach podcast episode pretty soon.
To trade with me, if there's something that can help that, no money, no plug, just help. Would you support that? Yes, I would. I would support it.
Yeah. So, catch that podcast episode. I will upload it soon. And yeah, this has been Khanyi in Cape Town in the Scam Exposing HQ. I will see you guys in the next live. Cheers, man.
Yes, bye. I actually had fun. We need to do that one more time before I leave, actually.
Just let me know when you want to come through.